night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, let incense arise. Day and night, night and day, you're worthy of it all. You're worthy of it all. For from you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve the glory.
Oh my, I love that guy. Steven. Another Steve in my life. Man. So our sixth child is named Stephen, supernaturally named by God. When he was inside the womb, the Lord said, name him Stephen, like audible. It was like the clearest. I don't get that often. I get pictures, I get impressions, and then I start speaking, and then I hear God speaking when I speak. But this was like I was riding my bike in the woods on a trail, and my wife was pregnant, early stages, before she could ever get a pregnancy check. And he said, boy Stephen, boy Stephen. So this name, Stephen, I love the way this guy sings, Stephen McWhitter. He sings from the heart, he sings from the soul. And what we're trying to do at Tree of Life Farms is restore the soul. Well, how are you going to do that, Jonathan? So everybody has all kinds of remedies for the soul, theoretically, right? Well, the body. Let's just say the body. So you got supplements, you got marijuana, you got, it starts with a ashwagandha type thing. You have meditation, new agey kind of stuff, frequency training, frequency involvement, red light therapy. There's just many alternative ways for people to feel better. And this is the premise on which we all sit on. We're all suffering from PTSD. Personally in our private life, because of the ravages of what the system has done to us emotionally after COVID, but even before that. The lying deception of fake elections, right? The weird stuff in the sky that they spray. The lies about the structure of everything. So that's a complete lie that puts you in a simulation that's fake. Makes you think you live on a spaceship versus this beautiful earth. The lie that the history that how we founded America, who founded it first, you know, the Indians and what they were like. There's so many diverse ideas about the beginning of America. The worship, look at DC, full of symbolism. The worship of the goddess Columbia, that's clear. Just look at the Capitol building, look at the Statue of Liberty, look at they worship the goddess Columbia. They didn't worship the living God. We're not one nation under God. Well, we could be, but in the mind of them, the goddess Columbia was what we were under. Her influence, her power in war, in conquest, in taking over territories, managing the sea, becoming a great navy, all that was under the power of that spirit, right? And these are real gods, guys. They're real. They have territorial power. They're in the council of heaven. They report to God the Almighty, the El Elyon, the highest of the high. And they have responsibilities, and they have territory to cover and manage, and they are tribal, and they are republics, they are Rome, they are Greece, but they are also the federations, the Congo Republic, or whatever it's called now. These are all things that emerge. Venezuela and the lying deceptions of what those people live in now, the stealing and the thievery of natural resources, and the torture of humans, especially people that love God, in Nigeria, in Mozambique, in other parts of the world. In every Muslim country, you cannot be a Christian, technically, openly, at all. So these are all spirits that operate in humans and sell them on terrible ideas for domination and control. And most humans, given a lot of power and money, what do? They take that power into themselves, and they take control for their own personal demands and desires, the lust of the flesh, the pride of life. These are all things that man and woman, but man operates in. And how do we break it? All these remedies out there. Buy them online, right? 30-day trial, free. Go here, go there. Well, I'm going to say that the soul that you own belongs to God. He owns your soul. He holds the deed on your soul. And because that's a truism, and that it's founded in scripture, founded in history, founded in the writings of all the great men of old, and in the Bible, but also in other writings, and in even Confucius, or in any of these philosophers who love to talk about all their philosophies, Greek philosophy. They were trying to figure out the beginning. They were trying to figure out happiness. They were trying to figure out government, legal things, justice. They were trying to figure out technology stuff like better agriculture, better food, more efficiency, money, economics, fair, some of them. And we're under the Roman idea of let everybody come and do your religion. Doesn't matter. Just come. Participate in our system, the American system. It's not under God in that respect. It's come here, start a business, have a life. And many of our forefathers, my family, my wife's family, came here to worship freely. And a lot of people came here, mostly the East Coast, not the West. The West was people going out for gold and all the things that you can study it out. I'm not an expert on Western United States history, but the East Coast was the Puritans, it was the Pilgrims, it was the Mayflower, it was all these people coming here, Ellis Island, to worship God, because they were under persecution in Europe or somewhere. Jews came here, right, probably way before 1700s, because God scattered them to the four winds. That's what he said he would do. After the northern kingdom was conquered, the Assyrians scattered them, and then they scattered from there. So the Jews are in every corner of the earth from the northern tribes, which is Ephraim, right? We call that Ephraim. Understand, Ephraim is different than Judah and Benjamin. Judah and Benjamin are of a different order. They were not destroyed until 586 BC under Nebuchadnezzar. They were the ones sent back to rebuild the temple, and they did eventually under Zerubbabel, who was an incredibly wise governor. Yeah, but these are great men that you can study and learn their way, learn their style. But in the end, soul restoration under the premise, the principle that God owns your soul. The one who made you owns you. The one who formed you in your mother's womb, gave you life, gave you breath, gave you ideas, gave you personality, gave you features. All of that comes from God, the Creator, the one who made heaven and earth. And if you don't know that you're made by God, the same one who made the whole earth and the heavens, the stars, the sun that are above our head, if you don't understand that his throne is straight up, if you don't get where you live in the structure, you're disoriented. No matter how many supplements you take, you don't know God the right way. You know him in a mystic way. The God of another dimension, the God of endless space, the God over all the galaxies, the God somehow rules this third planet from the sun, and he's way over there, but he's way over here, but he's everywhere. How about that? How about we make God be everywhere? How can his throne be everywhere? His throne, where Jesus sits right now, right next to it, is a fixed place in heaven right now. If you went to heaven right now, you would be staring at the brightest light, and that would be the throne. It's a specific X, Y, Z coordinate space, okay? So what changes is the barrier, which is the firmament. That's what changes your view. Now you have all the lies and the corruption of the earth and the Jesuits and all the schemology of a wicked atheistic religious system that hates God, that invented all this nonsense called outer space, galaxies for billions of light years, and Earth's 4.5, now it's 8.5 billion years old with a bang. All of that is corrupting the mind, and thus corrupting the soul. You can't juxtaposition or merge that with the Bible. It cannot coexist. Oil and water cannot merge. Thus, this cannot merge. And heaven's coming down to earth. Jesus is bringing heaven down when he comes back to reign over the earth as the King of Israel, as the King of the earth, as the Lord of all the lords. He's reigning in Jerusalem on the mountain that he brings down, the pure mountain. Zion comes down. What's there now will be petrified, burnt, fried, because it's going to be polluted. It is polluted, but it's going to be even more polluted when they put the third temple there and the Antichrist goes in the Holy of Holies. It will be utterly destroyed and fried before the Lord comes down with his holy mountain of Zion, changes the geographical layout of the land, shifts everything around so he can enter in and put his perfect throne on top of a perfect mountain, which comes down from heaven. So when you pray this simple prayer that everybody recites, doesn't even know what it means. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be, holy, separate, high, above, throne room. That's what you're saying when you hallow him. You put him near. You put him straight up. You put him above you, above the sun, above the moon, above the stars. Every star is below him. Every force of nature, every entity, every principality, every so-called God, every giant, every Nephilim, everything that hates him is under him. Thus he's in control. And Jesus sits right next to him, and he says, all authority is given unto me, now go. So when you say, hallowed be his name, you are putting him high. You are putting him above. You're setting him above everything. In your mind, in your heart, in your soul. Your soul now is under his throne. Right? So this is the Lord's Prayer, right? Hallowed be his name. Holy, separate, distinct from anything on this earth. Anything you worship, might worship, could have worshiped. Anything you trust, could trust, might trust, are trusting. Your job, your boss, the government. Whatever you're trusting that's not him, then you're not hallowing his name. No. Thy kingdom come. Where? Here. Thy will be done. Where? Here. On earth. Here. Now. As it is in heaven. Look around, folks. Where do you see love? Where do you see fairness and justice? Where do you see proper economic play? Where do you see fair distribution of wealth? Where do you see clean donations? No, you see corruption at every level in our government, uncovered by many forces right now to show us how wicked and evil the people who run the country are, how bereft of intelligence, bereft of conscience, bereft of wisdom. They own nothing that's good. They are evil at the core. James Comey, Brandon, all these people, plus the people that are hidden away in our government, 10,000 souls of evil perpetrators of nonsense. They make up departments, NGOs that are evil, that traffic children. They make up false shell companies so they can bring it to themselves. They are selfish, narcissistic, dark, empire spirit people that will be destroyed by Jesus Christ soon. They're going down, says Jonathan, as a son of God, as a servant of the Most High, as someone called out of the lineup of humanity. That's a fact. My identity is tied to the throne, and I'm teaching you how to ponder and recite the Lord's Prayer with faith and in reality of what it really means. May God bless.